think being a precocious teenager and looking at yourself now, is that something that's really changed that you can really see was, I don't want to say negative, but something that needed to change, or it was just going to happen over time?
I wish it hadn't have changed. I wish I could remain 15 before I had any issues with eating. I used to, I didn't used to think about other people.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, but just, my training focused around me. I went to a race. I was timed in the race, which I think is a big difference, because in triathlon you're measuring yourself against other people.
Okay.
It's not necessarily like a closed swim lane or a closed track where you run a time and you win. In triathlon you have to interact with other people.
Okay.
And I obviously didn't have experience with other people's training methods. I knew swimming, I knew running. I didn't have any issues there, but when I swapped to triathlon, you become a little bit more unstable.
Yeah.
I think that
wow.
Yeah, so I wouldn't pick my 18-year-old self, to be honest. It wasn't a very nice time.
Yeah.
And it came out of me because I was talented, that it was almost an arrogance. It never was, and it was misread quite badly by quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
But now, after a lot of failures, a lot of life, I think that I can sit back and kind of, look back at those years as if I was a different person, really.
Right.
And hopefully I've taken the attributes along, but I've left the baggage, as it were, and I see it in other people, and it actually helps me to help them nowadays. So it's good.
You said earlier that sort of now you're happy, I guess, putting a lot of that baggage behind you now. To me, you seem like even in the past few years, you've grown or matured, and you do seem really happy, and you race. You seem to race well when you're happy. Is my sort of takeout from watching over the couple of years. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, injury is a big part of it, and I haven't been injured in the past couple of years because I found my formulas that work, and then therefore I can put the hard work in and be happy in that. And then obviously I'm with James now, and he looks after me properly, and we have a plan for the future, and I think that really helps someone like me who's actually quite a homebody, that's been this this gypsy all my life, travelling around, never having a base, and then getting into relationships with people that are it's never going to give me a solid base, because it's such a temperamental state. But now I'm in a stable position. We've got a home in South Africa, and a fixed person to plan ahead with, and I think that makes me happy, and it shows in the security of my racing and my life.
Yeah. You said earlier that we can wave to you. Hi, Bella. You said earlier that one of the best things about South Africa is leaving, because then you're excited to go back. So it really is you're from Britain, but that's your home now?
Yeah, I see it as my kind of the place that I should have been. It's it's a beautiful country. It has amazing things going on, but it's also a little bit messed up, a bit like myself. So it's got so much going on. You're not bored when you walk down the street. There's just so many different cultures, different scenarios that are happening, different social levels, languages, colours, wealth.
Sharks.
It's like London but hot. There's sharks, Again, you don't see them.
Okay, I want to talk about this year, because you've had, in my books, I think you've had one of the best years out of all the triathletes on the circuit. You went to High V, you came third there, second at 70.3 Worlds, and then fourth in Kona. And then you had a host of other wins and podiums and stuff throughout the year, but they're the big world championships. And then this weekend, of course, we've got Bahrain, which is another world championship of sorts. To you, is this one of the best years in your career in terms of triathlon?
Yeah, I think if I look back on it and the list of results and the journey of the year, definitely. Although I always feel like it's on a path to somewhere. I don't know if I'll ever quit that, savouring the moment. I think there's a couple of champions that are really good at that. Rinny's really good at it. But I don't do it so much, and I wish I could, but it always seems like a progression to something else. And I wonder if I ever do win the big one, if that would be the end of it, because I'm not sure it will.
Yeah, right.
We all think it will be, but so I think the year was great, but I want more, and unfortunately that's my predicament in life. So hopefully I'll get over that one day.
I think that's what keeps us all going, really.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk to you about Kona. Well, first of all, 70.3 Worlds, amazing racing from what we could tell on Twitter. Just a little jab there. But being in Kona, obviously Rinny had a most amazing day. Daniela had an awesome race as well. But you had one of the races of the days. And for me, it was because of the way that you handled that penalty. And that's where I sort of saw a very mature athlete. I don't know if you would have responded like that a couple of years ago.
I probably wouldn't have responded that before I sort of went and worked with Siri in Boulder. So that's like only like 4 months.
Yeah, right.
It was almost like we've changed the way I think about racing, and you get the most out of what you can in the race, whereas before I was almost a slave to expectation, if you like.
Such a good quote, that.
Yeah. I expected to win, and if people didn't mention me in pre-race reports, I would be pissed, because I thought, I should be up there really, and then I check all my results. I think I should still be mentioned. Actually, who really cares? We only care about the process of the race and the result of the race in the circumstances you were given. If you've got if you've got a sore tummy and you come 8th, that's really, really good.
Yeah.
You can't expect to win.
Yeah.
And that's just something that happens within the race, and that's all you can give. You can give 100% and nothing more. So Siri's drilled that into me, and I'm glad to have actually listened to someone and learnt something once in my life.
There comes that stubborn teenager out in you still. So do you reckon that's the probably one of the number one things that you've learnt since coming on board with her? Because you've only, it's not even, it's just a year now pretty much that you've been with her, right?
Yeah, it's just a year, just under a year.
Yeah.
I learnt a lot from Brett as well, but I think that it's almost like the accumulation of the lessons. So I learn a bit from him, a bit from Siri, and it adds up, and then I can click it all together. And then also just maturing. I don't know, I went through puberty at like 18. I think that maybe I'm probably like the equivalent of a 25-year-old now in my 33 years. So that's why it's coming now. I'm looking at you,
Oh, and the entire crowd out there watching this. There's a massive crowd.